What is up, guys? It's the Dino Gamer back in another video. Today we're going to be talking about some more Fallen Kingdom stuff. It's been a while since I've done one of these kind of videos, and the last time we talked it was about a traumatic and depressing scene in Jurassic World 2 and the truth behind it that scarred us for life. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then go check out my last Fallen Kingdom discussion video on the Brachiosaurus. Today we're going to take a darker turn in the Fallen Kingdom movie, for we will be talking about the Indoraptor's past along with some concept arts and ideas that the producers had in the early stages of this film, but decided to cut it out last minute. All of said ideas have been cut out or rejected from the film for good reasons, but sheds light on the Indoraptor's gruesome past. First off, let's start off with some concept arts. I can't begin to describe how strange some of these are. While some would have made sense, considering they bear some resemblance to the Indominus Rex, others were just downright disturbing. The first piece of concept art is rather disturbing and a somewhat deformed version of the Indoraptor. As you can see, their starting goal was to make it look like a miniature Indominus Rex, but with some deformities. This made it look like Dr. Henry Wu's first attempt on creating the Indoraptor, only to result in a creature with failed mutations and covered with deformities. As you can see, the flesh is exposed in a couple different areas, including its mouth and neck. There are teeth growing through its skin, above its mouth, and it has a milky white eye with no pupil. This image is certainly nightmare-inducing, to say the least. And they only get worse from here. I'm not even joking. If you thought that one was bad, here's a similar one, but with a more transparent skin tone, making it seem even more grotesque than the first one. You can see the veins in the skull with this one, which makes it even all the more disturbing. The third one, which is the same as the other two, but with a different color scheme, doesn't look any better. This one has a more greener kind of color scheme going on, and it has the same kind of deformities and flesh sticking out. But the most disturbing and creepy piece out of all of these is this one. This one, which is the same as the rest, but has a different color scheme. But not only does it have a different color scheme, it also has swollen pieces of flesh growing out of its head. It's obvious they were trying to take a darker turn with the Jurassic franchise, but I don't think anyone was expecting them to go this far. It's clear why these four were cut, and cut relatively quick. This next one is a much better design compared to the others. While it's simple, it could have made a good Indoraptor. Of course, it still has some resemblance to the Indominus Rex, but it doesn't have quills sticking out of its head or neck. The colors are nice, and the idea seems real and believable. I would have actually wanted to see this one in the big screen, but it made sense why they didn't, because it wasn't dark enough, both literally and symbolically. Another concept piece with the Indoraptor almost in its final form featured it with a crest on its head. Seems pretty believable, but with the crest it makes it seem almost unrealistic, which is probably why they cut this one out too. Another picture showed an Indoraptor with the crest in a more realistic sketch. In this sketch you can see the Indoraptor toying with a dead body, I think. While the sketch looks cool, I can't help but feel like the Indoraptor still looks unrealistic with the crest, which makes sense why they decided to cut it. That seems to be it for the concept art of the Indoraptor in its early stages, but even when the Indoraptor came into its final form, they still had some ideas that were actually rejected and kind of deleted or cut from the actual film. Unfortunately, it's been confirmed that the Fallen Kingdom disc will not come with deleted scenes, so we're gonna have to use our imagination with this one, guys. This first piece is more like a drawn-out idea. It features two Indoraptors, one white and one black. The white one was supposed to be killed off by the black one, which would obviously be the same Indoraptor we see later in the film. It is unclear, at least for me, if they were purposely pitted against each other, or if it was similar to Indominus' origin story, where they created a sibling for her in case she ended up dying at an early age, but the Indominus Rex ends up eating her sibling rather than living with it. Hey, I live with two siblings, you don't see me biting their heads off. Get it? Get it? Biting their heads off because they're dinosaurs and they bite. I'll just stop. Alright guys, so before we get into the final piece of concept art, there's this one piece I completely forgot about while making this video that I don't want to exclude because it actually is pretty interesting, and I feel like it's really sad, but honestly something that I feel like they should have added into the film. And this concept piece features the white Indoraptor actually being tased and tortured by one of Lockwood's men by what looks to be like a cattle prod or just one of those electrical sticks that they had in Jurassic World. Now, as far as the white Indoraptor goes, I honestly understand why they decided to cut that idea out. It probably just would have been too much for this film, not too realistic. Of course, they did want to bring it in because it did, like it's supposed to kind of have a reference to the Indominus Rex, but once again, they just, they cut it because they probably just thought it wasn't a good idea. But I would have wanted to see this in the movie, but with the black Indoraptor. Throughout the movie, you have your bad guys, Mills, Wheatley, Eversole, you have all those people that you just kind of want to see dead, and the Indoraptor also is that villain that you kind of want to see dead because it's an evil dinosaur that just wants to kill everything it sees. But if this scene was added to that movie, it kind of gives us a bit of like explanation as to why the Indoraptor has such hatred towards people. Not to mention that a scene like this is pretty unsettling, which could help improve with the horror vibe going on with this movie. And I mean, again, that's what they were aiming for, and I can't help but feel like a scene like this would have improved that. But of course, that's just my own opinion. A lot of people are probably happy that this scene didn't, was cut from the film and didn't show up. I get why they cut the Indoraptor out, the white Indoraptor out, that is. But I would have wanted a scene like that with the black Indoraptor. But again, just my opinion. What do you guys think? Comment down your thoughts in the comment section down below. The last piece of concept art in the pre-production of this movie is yet another disturbing one. It shows the Indoraptor toying with a human skull which was supposed to play a specific role in the film. The skull belonged to a technician who was supposed to change out a light bulb in the Indoraptor's cage that broke. This story is being told by Mills to Eversole and his explanation as to why the Indoraptor's cage was in darkness. Apparently they tranked the beast twice so that the technician could go in and change out the light bulb. This is when they learned the hard way that the Indoraptor needed to be tranked 3 times instead of 2 to be fully sedated, which was supposed to foreshadow Ken Wheatley's death in the film. This resulted in the death of the technician. They later realized, through watching various tapes from cameras that monitored the Indoraptor's cage, that the creature purposely broke the light to lure its prey towards it. Truly horrifying stuff right there. Now I get why they cut most of this stuff out, considering a lot of it didn't seem completely realistic, and having 2 dinosaur hybrids in a Jurassic film seems a bit overwhelming, and honestly it's not something that anybody would be aiming for or really want. Or at least that's in my own opinion. But I'm a little angry that they decided to cut out a scene as good as the Indoraptor story. They wanted to take this movie in a darker path, and this scene would have improved that goal. Don't get me wrong, there are still several elements in this movie that make Fallen Kingdom a dark film, but I can't help but feel like this scene would have made it so much better. I mean, seriously, I think Universal should just send us concept arts and ideas before they start these films to get the fans' opinions on what should be and shouldn't be in this film. I mean, hell, if they're gonna spoil the entire film through fucking trailers, I mean, they might as well just give us the concept ideas, right? Alright guys, I'm sorry for that little rant there, but honestly, I just feel like, them cutting this part out, honestly, not only did it look badass, it actually would explain so much in the story about the Indoraptor, But, it is what it is, I guess. But, anyways, guys, yes, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I just really want to talk about the Indoraptor's backstory and just all the concept ideas that they were planning on adding in the film, but they decided to cut it because it wasn't a good idea. It makes sense why they cut most of this stuff, and honestly, I'm glad they did. But honestly, all this disturbing stuff about the Indoraptor is just truly terrifying. And honestly, guys, I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I actually like dark shit, Dark shit is like something that I've tried to, I like getting scared, I like being terrified, I like all these scary and terrifying and disturbing things. And when you add dinosaurs into the mix, it gets even better. Now, truth be told, this is pretty mild stuff compared to some of the stuff I've seen over the years, but it's still somewhat terrifying because I always looked at the Jurassic franchise as like a family kind of film. Now I know you got all the deaths, you got all the fights and the brutality in all of this, but growing up, I watched this film at an early age. I was like 3 when I first watched Jurassic Park. I never really saw it as a monster film. I never saw it as a scary film. And everybody I meet was always telling me, oh yeah, I watched Jurassic Park when I was younger too. It scared the crap out of me. And I would always be like, really? That film was like my favorite film. It never scared me. I loved it. And, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs never scared me. And I always saw the film as like a dramatic sci-fi thriller kind of thing. Not more of like a horror sci-fi thriller, as most people do, I feel like. But, that's just my opinion on the film. And I just feel like something as disturbing as this with the Indoraptor and everything, I just felt like it was a great element to add, and something that was truly unexpected in my part. Like if you told not the 3-year-old me, because I would not have understood, but if you told maybe like the 7 or 8-year-old me that they were gonna add in a creature like this, I would never have believed you. But I see it now with my own eyes, and it's honestly a bit terrifying. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. If you guys enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe for maybe some more Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom stuff. I don't really think there's anything else to really talk about Fallen Kingdom wise, but who knows, maybe somewhere down the line we'll have some more Jurassic news for you guys. But yeah, until then, enjoy everything else. That's all I have to say for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please have a nice day.